All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to unpack the invisible physics happening inside your tires every single day, and more importantly, how you can survive when things go catastrophically wrong. Think about it. Your safety quite literally rides on a cushion of air. It's wild, but the science behind how that air behaves and what happens when it escapes is absolutely fascinating. We've got a lot to cover today. First, the hidden dangers of underinflation. Then, we'll break down the anatomy of tire pressure, decode that pesky TPMS warning, go over the sidewall versus placard rule, and finally, exactly what to do to survive a sudden blowout. Part 1. The hidden dangers of underinflation. Let's start with some hard numbers, and honestly, they're pretty sobering. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates nearly 11,000 crashes and over 600 fatalities happen every single year just from tire-related issues. What's truly heartbreaking here, most of this devastation comes down to easily preventable maintenance failures. It's not bad luck, it's bad air pressure. To put that into perspective, check this out. A survey by the U.S. Tire Manufacturers Association found that a staggering 91% of vehicles out there are driving around with at least one improperly inflated tire. Think about that for a second. Only 9% of us actually have our tires properly inflated. We are quite literally surrounded on the highway by compromised equipment. Moving right along to part 2, the anatomy of tire pressure. To really grasp how pressure works, we have to start with a baseline metric, which is cold pressure. This is the tire pressure measured when a vehicle has been parked for at least 3 hours. Why does 3 hours matter? Well, because driving even a short distance generates friction. That friction warms up the tire and artificially inflates the internal PSI. So if you're checking warm tires, you're getting a totally false sense of security. Now, what happens when we get it wrong? If you overinflate, you're looking at uneven centered tread wear, a really harsh bumpy ride, and you're making your wheels super vulnerable to pothole damage. It's bad, for sure. But underinflation, that creates a lethal, invisible enemy. And that invisible enemy is heat. Here's the crazy part. A tire can lose up to half of its air and not even look flat to the naked eye. But inside, that low pressure forces the tire to flex way too much as it rolls down the highway. All that flexing basically acts like an internal furnace. It generates extreme heat that literally rips the tire apart from the inside out, melting the rubber bonds and causing terrifying tread separation and sidewall flex breaks. So let's hit part 3, decoding the TPMS warning. You might be thinking, hey, doesn't my car have a warning light for this? Well, if you drive a passenger car, light truck, or van from the 2008 model year or newer, the federal government mandates that you have a tire pressure monitoring system, or TPMS, installed. But here is the terrifying limitation of that technology. It is legally programmed to alert you only when you are 25% underinflated. That means your tire could be down 8 psi or more before you even get a heads up. At a 25% deficit, that immense heat buildup and structural damage we just talked about, it might have already started long before that little dashboard light turns on. It is absolutely 100% not a substitute for checking your tires manually. Plus, you really need to know what the system is actually trying to tell you. If your TPMS light flashes for 60 to 90 seconds before going solid when you start the car, you don't just have low air. You actually have a failed sensor or a system fault. That means the safety net is down and you need an immediate diagnostic scan and replacement. All right, part 4, the sidewall versus placard rule. This brings us to a golden rule straight out of the service manuals. You must set your pressure to the vehicle's door jamb placard. There's a little sticker inside the driver's side door that dictates the exact PSI your specific vehicle was designed for. Never, ever set your air pressure to the number printed on the actual tire itself. Why? Because that number molded directly into the rubber on the side of the tire, that is the absolute maximum permissible inflation. It is definitely not a recommendation. If you fill your tire to that max capacity, you are creating a highly dangerous overinflation scenario tailored to ruin your specific car's traction and braking capabilities. Always, always follow the door placard. Which leads us to our final section, part 5, surviving a sudden blowout. Imagine you're driving, and suddenly you hear a loud, explosive bang, followed by a violent vibration pulling your vehicle. You're having a blowout. In this terrifying split-second moment, you have to fight your natural human instincts. You must remember this absolute golden rule from the NHTSA. Do not slam on the brakes. Here is your definitive survival guide. Step 1. Grip that steering wheel firmly with both hands to fight the vehicle's pull. Step 2. Maintain your speed if it's safe to do so. I know it sounds crazy, but do it. Step 3. Gradually release the accelerator. Just let the drag of that ruined tire naturally pull the car's speed down. Step 4. Steer gently into your lane to keep the car stable. And step 5. Only when you've slowed down to a highly manageable speed, gently apply the brakes and pull off the road. Since tires naturally lose air through basic osmosis over time, and since we now know that TPMS light won't save us early enough, I want to leave you with this final thought. 91% of the people sharing the highway with you are driving on improperly inflated tires. So when was the very last time you manually checked your cold tire pressure against your door placard? Your life and the safety of everyone around you is literally riding on that answer.